Hello. It's almost the end of 2022, and like me, you might be looking forward to the end of it. Um, yes, it's been quite a year. Although, I'm seeing some hopeful things. There's a Substack called Broadview with Lisa Sellen Davis, and I recently became a paid subscriber. I budget myself for one paid subscription to Substack or other blogs a month, and I think I'm going to do a Lisa Mondegreen for my January subscription. But at Lisa Sellen Davis, she linked a Reuters article, and this proves that legacy media is starting to pay attention to detransitioners. And you can find this article by Googling Reuters December 22. The authors are Raspout, Terhune, and Conlon, and I will put that in the notes. So you can just find it by those things in Google search. So it starts off with this sentence. For years, Dr. Kinnan McKinnon, like many people in the trans community, considered the word regret to be taboo. Now, I think what this says is a very interesting thing about taboo. That, you know, we're told in the gender critical community that we have too many taboos if we say you are the sex that you were born in and you will always be, because every cell has either an XX or an XY chromosome. Now, my landscaper neighbor next door, I can hear, is doing a little bit of drilling or something, so I'm hoping this isn't going to push me into later in the day, because I am outside in just my teacher cardigan and my new long tunic turtleneck, and I want to show you some movement. I might talk a little bit about my next talk video, which is going to be about trolls and negative people making comments and what my philosophy is of that. But I can feel it getting colder, so I'm going to show you some of my most simplest positional postural exercises. I've been thinking about this, of course. After the month of December, we are often a little bit out of touch with our bodies because of all the holiday treats. And I was just thinking about how can I make things as simple as possible to sort of re-engage with your torso and your abdominals. And one of the things that you can do to get yourself there is this, which I learned from one of my dance teachers when I was a teenager, is just tapping on your chest, and you can hear it both from the inside and outside. And then you can go ahead and wake yourself up, wake up your whole torso. And I can start doing this from one of our most neutral positions, this bent leg sitting, and just sort of move yourself forward, that kind of a stretch, and backward, keeping your back straight. And that's just a very, very simple foundational thing to do to get yourself used to moving and get yourself used to, where am I in space? How is my proprioception? So I'm just actually going to do this while I move, except I'm going to reach my arms out and bring them back and look up at the sky. And then I'm going to try lifting one leg up and then lifting the other leg up and then balance with both. And then I can just do this, go back to my completely solid place and lean back and balance. And you can play with this a little bit by just moving your legs a little bit. Now, if you pretend that you're blowing out a big collection of birthday candles, I would have had 66 just this month, then you can engage your abdominals more completely. So here I go. Now another piece of this that I wanted to show you is simply something involving this simple turn to the side and the legs going into what I call zigzag, part of zigzag. And this one is surprisingly challenging, actually. We're going to go with our arms up and think of yourself as having that flat back, and then reach over and come back up. I have to check. I know I sometimes am not completely straight in my back, but I want to be straight because I am using my abdominals just to kind of balance myself this way. And this is so important, actually, for balance as you get older. It's very, very important to keep these torso muscles in action every day, really, because you will feel this connection, this mind-body connection. So I'm going to show you both sides. You will scooch a little bit forward, so I recommend doing that a couple of times and then just scooch back and go back to this. So I'm just going to show you that a couple of times. I take a breath in when I'm in this position and then breathe out strongly, going over to the side. If you're just working on building strength, you can, of course, put this hand down and let it help you go back up. You could even, in this position, do a little bit of a diagonal across move where the opposite knee and shoulder go towards each other. And then see if you can slowly roll down. That's all I'm going to put into this one. I think it's very important that we keep in mind that someone who is a woman but thinks that she's male, like Kinnan McKinnon, who I believe is a PhD psychologist, is actually trying to look into the idea that we do have transitioners and then too many detransitioners, and there are no valid, reliable, large numbers of subject studies giving us any kind of indication of whether any of it is a stable diagnosis. I pose, based on my experience being very close to it, that it's not.